All right, you're listening to On Deck, presented by Amazing Met Zone. I'm your boy, Phil from Shirley, with my boy, Drew Minotti 82. What up, Drew?
What's happening, Philly? What's going on, man?
It's been a while. We've been away. A lot of exciting things. We wanted to talk about our top five moments from the Mets regular season, and I'm going to start it off. My number five right away. It's 2 days, and it's when Doc and Daryl got their numbers retired. To me, that as Met fans, we've been waiting for this to happen for a long time. It was great for Steve Cohen and Alex Cohen to get this done. I was there for Daryl's day. It was an awesome day. So I got to have that on my list. My number five, Doc and Daryl Day.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I mean, I feel like there's so many that we can put on this list that I forgot about that one, which was I'm glad you brought that up. That's a great one. Um, my number five, it probably could be my number one. I know I say that a lot, but OMG movement, man. The OMG movement. Our boy J Mac, Jose Iglesias. I know like some people might be sick of the song at this moment, but it was such a crucial part of our season. It brought our season into another stratosphere. And we're lucky enough to be friends with J Mac. We tell him all the time that, he had a huge part in making the season what it was. Everyone's always going to think of this season as the OMG year. It's going into Cooperstown, the sign, and I can't make a list without putting that on there. And it's a shame I put it at number five, but at the same time, I think, like I said, it could be my number one for sure.
My number four, it's a whole, it's multiple days, and that's sweeping the Yankees. Capped off with us going to that watch party July 24th, and the Mets just kicking the shit out of them in Yankee Stadium 12-3, sweeping them on the year 4-0, a combined score of 36-14, a total shit kicking. It's got to be my number four, just smacking the Yankees around this year.
Yeah, that was on my list. I took it off for something else, but my number four was that series against Baltimore where Alvarez hits that walk off. I mean, the guy's been slumping all year, and then Winker's walk off, where I mean, those two those two games, I think they were like 2 or 3 days apart, and it was just unbelievable, especially against a team like Baltimore. It wasn't like we did it against the White Sox or the Marlins or something like that. We did it against a good team. To see Alvarez and Winker just go off like that, it was so cool to see. So yeah, that's my number four is the walk offs against Baltimore.
Love it, love it. Moving right to my number three, the walk off by Jesse Winker, August 24th, first, August 19th, like you said, Alvarez hits that walk off versus Baltimore after he was struggling, swinging on a 3-0 pitch too.
Yep.
Then Winker gets his first home run as a Met, and
Yep.
just Jesse Winker being Jesse Winker slams the helmet, goes nuts, is so extra. I mean, this guy in one season has gone from one of my most hated Mets all time to being probably one of my most favorite Mets of all time. The guy is loved. I hope we sign him again. That homer by Jesse Winker has to be on my list. My number three moment, Jesse Winker's walk off versus the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, I had both of them, the Alvarez and the Winker, so I had to combine them.
Love it. Love it.
My number three is Lindor in Toronto. Breaking up that no hitter. Um, it was just so cool to see. I mean, as soon as he hit it, he knew it was gone. The way he throws his bat, I mean, I watch it now; it still gives me chills. And that was like when we made our push. That was when we made our playoff push. We started to. I think we tied up with the Braves at that point for the third wild card position, and it was like one of those games where you're like, man, we're gonna get no hit. We're gonna get no hit, and then fucking crush the ball. Yeah, so my number three is Lindor in Toronto.
Perfect. Perfect. Going right into my number two. And we don't even talk about these lists, but my number two is we're in the top of the ninth, September 11th at Toronto, getting no hit in a game that we must win. Just looking like, another loss. This is going to be tough. And then Frankie Lindor comes through with 0-2 count to lead off the inning in the ninth. We go on to score five more runs, win that game 6-2 in such a crucial time of the season, like Drew was saying. That has to be on my list. My number two, Frankie Lindor saying goodbye to the no-no.
Yeah, man. Um, my number two is Vientos walk off in Cincinnati, against Cincinnati in the bottom of the 10th. It was a second home run of the game. I didn't realize this until I just looked it up that he's the first third baseman to have multiple walk-offs in a season for the Mets. I mean, the guy had an electric season. Again, that was another game that pushed us into the third wild card spot. Yeah, Vientos, two home runs, right, in the same game. It was so cool to see, and just like you said, like when Winker threw the helmet down, watching Vientos just get jacked up. They ripped the shirt off. Like, I mean, the guy was a monster this year, and that was just like a nice cap to his season.
Yeah, that I love that one because that one was on my list when I bumped it off for Doc and Dow. But moving on to my number one, the biggest moment of the year, Monday, September 30th, the extra game. Mets take the lead, come back on Atlanta with a big sixth-run eighth. It looks like we're going to win this game. Then we come back in the bottom of the eighth and give up four. I mean, you could define this year in 2024 by that Monday game, just the emotions that you go through. In that one game, we went through it all year. And then Diaz comes out and blows it. And we're all like, oh my God, this is really going to happen. Like, this is how it's going to be. Oh my God, this is really how it's going to end. Even though I felt like we were going to win game two, at that point, it was just devastating. And then Francisco Lindor comes up again in the ninth inning to hit a go-ahead two-run homer. The biggest moment probably of my Mets fandom life in the regular season. What a moment. Frankie Lindor's home run on September 30th to win that game one.
Yeah, I mean, my number one name, right? They call him the Grand Slam Cisco, right? The guy fucking has ice in his veins. I remember I was at work and I'm a school teacher and I'm going nuts. And my students are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm running out in the hallway. My principal is a Met fan too. I'm giving him high fives. I mean, we're like you said, going from a low point of Diaz blowing the game, grand slam. It's like someone is writing this, and like you can't even write something this good. Just talking about it, when hearing you talk about it, gave me the chills, man. Like it was just one of those moments you'll never forget. Like you said, I know it's like it just happened, so you have like almost like the bias of the moment, but at the same time, that's something I'll never forget. It's one of those home runs that grand slams that you'll remember forever. You'll tell your kids about, you'll tell your grandkids about. It's so cool to see. And yeah, my number one is Francisco in Atlanta.
All right, that was our top five moments from this Mets season. Let us know what we missed. Thanks for listening. We'll be back. We'll be back. Took a little break, but we're back, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go, Mets.